Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek bonus round for E3 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinside.
Heyo.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Woo!
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to our bonus round for E3 2021. We're all back together. Schedule synced.
Planets and stars aligned perfectly.
Yeah, we did it. We did it, folks. We did it. So it's been an exciting week. We will have a bonus round this week for those wondering where the other episodes are. We will return to your regularly scheduled program starting next week, but there's E3, there's Summer Game Fest. There's just so much stuff to cover game-wise that it's got to be its bonus round. I mean, this is all we got. This is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a in-depth, long bonus round. So strap in and listen up, guys. So, let's kick it off with Summer Game Fest with Jeff Keighley earlier in the week, right after you guys podcasted last week. Basically, we had his reveal stuff. Now, I was slam busy, but I was trying to watch as much as I could of this. And man, I got to say, what was the big reveal is obviously
the biggest thing is Elden Ring. Yeah, for sure. That's the biggest.
Yeah, I mean, that was release date.
Well, way to start off. That's great. This weekend, I should say, but
he was so excited too, Jeff Keighley. Mm-hmm. Like, he was so excited. So, what did you guys think of Elden Ring? Let's just go right into that one. I mean, that's the key we've been waiting for, right? January 21st, 2022. Do we first of all, do we make that?
I'm gonna my bets, and I'm gonna go with it's coming January.
Okay.
It's gonna be January.
I don't know. Like, for me, I really want this game. Like, this is a game that I want, but I'm very worried about it not being my style of game, right? I mean, obviously it's...
Don't you know this already, though? Like,
I know.
The same type of game as everything else they make? I
know, but I really want to make it more accessible to everybody.
I mean, there's the possibility. They've avoided talking about it. I don't think anybody's interviewing them about it. And the other thing is, I believe it has four-player online co-op.
That's a little different there, yeah.
It is. I mean, so while I would say probably, I'm just guesstimating, probably 80% of it. Sorry, just being my Apple Watch. I would say 80% of it, maybe 90, is probably going to be the same formula. Like, hey, look, like, it's combat-oriented, difficult, blah blah blah. But I mean, it's semi-open world to open world. You have a horse now, online co-op emphasis, stuff like that. And, I think it might be time for them to open up accessibility options, even if it means like gating, achievements or something like that.
I'm fine with that. Like, if I don't get the coolest achievements, I don't care. I want to experience the game.
Let me ask you something, Jim. Did you have any trouble with control, like difficulty-wise? Because I find
only there was one section that I had to basically. I think I talked about it in the podcast. I had to hacks essentially. There's a
button you can turn
central,
on, like,
I believe it's central control.
There's
a hard fight there. There's a hard encounter there. Really hard encounter.
Yeah, I've been running my head into things in that game, and that's what I've been playing. But I'm just wondering, because you played through the campaign in that?
Yeah.
I kind of think you can handle some difficulty more than you think.
Yeah. No, it's not that I can't. Listen, back in my day, I was a gamer. However, it's not that I can't. It's how much do I want to sink into it? Like, I'm not saying I can't get better at it. Like, I know that I can learn. I mean, I tried. Was it Sekiro? I tried that game. I really enjoyed it, but I didn't get hooked because I want to spend time on games that I enjoy playing, but not because of the challenge, because I enjoy playing them. Like, I'm no longer like that challenge seeker. I completely, on super hardest difficulty, Shattered Dimension Spider-Man game, like the game on the Xbox 360. I completely, fully achieved that whole game. What do you call it? Gold,
platinum, gold,
whatever you call that thing. I finished that game on the hardest difficulty because I wanted to. I don't know what it was. That was the last game that I played on the hardest difficulty. Because it was after Halo 4 and the bullshit that was Halo 4. So I haven't done it in a while. But I mean, it's not like I couldn't but like look at like Jedi Fallen Order, for instance. I played it on the lower setting, I believe. So I just because not that it was a challenging game. I wanted to experience the game and enjoy it, and for me that's how I was able to. So like this game, I want to experience this game and enjoy it. Maybe I bump the difficulty up and see what it's like, and then be able to adjust it as I go. That's what I'm looking for. I want those sliders. So. All right. Looks good. Looks really good, though, doesn't it? I mean, it looks really good.
I mean, it's coming for old systems and new systems, so
yeah.
Obviously PC as well, but
yeah,
which is fine with me because I mean it's been in development for 5 years now.
But I mean, it's just another one of those things where it's gonna just be held back. But I mean, I don't have a new system. So.
If everything was developed for it, though, I mean, there's what's being held back. It's what it is.
Well, the thing is, I mean. I wouldn't say this is held back because we've known about it for years. Like it was never pitched as a next gen game.
Sure.
It's pitched as a current gen game. So,
I'm just saying it's another. I mean, and it's gonna be that, and it's fine. But the newer system stuff is not gonna be as good as it could be, and the older system stuff is not. Is holding.
Well, sure. But I mean, hopefully we get Bloodborne 2 in 2 years or 3 years. And it'll look like the Dark Souls,
so you might get a
Demon Souls remake.
You might get a new franchise here too with Elden Ring, and maybe they'll throw all their efforts into that.
Yeah. Other announcements was the Tiny Tina standalone Borderlands expansion kind of thing. That was announced at Game Fest as well. I didn't get to see much of that. How'd that look, Corey?
I mean, it's a CG trailer, really.
CG trailer.
Wasn't really much. I mean,
by the way,
I guess it could have been in-engine. It seemed like the style of the game's not like it's, it needs to be super clarity or whatever. But
no, we kind of
based off of what we know about it, though, it seems like it's going to be similar to Borderlands, but it is based off of Tiny Tina's imagination in like an RPG setting, Dungeons and Dragons setting. Kind of like the Attack on Dragon's Keep DLC that was Borderlands 2, which was fantastic. And so you're actually creating your own characters in this game instead of having pre-set characters like in the other Borderlands games. And there'll be emphasis on other things than just guns.
Okay.
So seems pretty neat.
Early 2022 release date for that one. Elsewhere, I think another one that I'm just following this article too. Metal Slug Tactics. Another game that intrigues me because I do love my tactic games. And
it's funny because like I see this game and I'm like, this is so cool looking and like tactics and blah blah blah, and then we got some news from Nintendo and it made me miss the style of artwork.
Yeah,
because I do think it just looks charming and. So, but not that we'll talk about that later. But this looks really cool. I think the sprite-based 2D stuff looks fantastic, and tactics games, like you said, it's great.
Well, I think sprite-based 2D stuff doesn't really age. You know what I mean? Like it holds up way better over time than it does for those 3D stuff. So that's the best part about it. Let's see. Other news from this was Death Stranding Director's Cut announced for PS5.
That was weird. I don't know. What, they're like trying to fuck with us.
Even more.
Like he's just fooling around with that box. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Then again, I've never played Death Stranding. Did any of us try that game at all?
Nope. No, I don't think we did. So, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, there had to be something from Kojima at this, and there wasn't anything ready that's new. So here's a new
some awkward conversation with them. Yeah, that was weird, but they love each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot during this event. I mean, smaller stuff after this. So I'm just kind of going through, what we had. I mean, we had Overwatch 2's game director shows off Sombra and is it Baptiste?
Mm-hmm.
And
new outfits.
Yeah.
Like you might as well have showed nothing. Like that was fucking pathetic.
Tales of Arise gameplay trailer.
That was cool. I like that.
Yeah, I'm psyched for this game. I mean, this is another Tales game that I can forget to level up my characters in and try to finish the whole game.
I mean, it looks cool. You forgot that this was coming out. It's supposed to be out last year.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for this game. So I'm looking forward to it quite a bit. What else? I mean, anything else grab you guys' attention during this? The Among Us stuff is not really our kind of scene. the hide and seek mode. Sable. Let's see, Lost Ark Headed West from Korea. I think that's really a lot of quick fire stuff, like Stranger Things and Smite collaboration announced. A Left 4 Dead style co-op shooter announced, even though we're going to talk about one of those later. Yeah, that's about it really for the Game Fest, I believe. I mean, there's a lot of little stuff, but there's going to be so much more from Game Fest over the whole summer, essentially. So we'll definitely be covering more of this. But the meat and potatoes of this podcast is E3 2021, and I want to get right into this.
I mean, we'll have to talk about what's our biggest and most anticipated later on. But Elden Ring, just like that, right off the bat, that's like, what's going to top that? Like, is there anything that we know of that could top that? And I don't think there is, really, just because people have been waiting for that for so long.
I mean, there's stuff that can top.
For the subset of people who play those games, yes.
Yeah, well, I'm saying we'll see. I know what we know, so we'll see.
The problem is like the statement, while it might be true, I'm always hesitant on that game genre because it's not.
No,
really
I know. I mean, and
style.
obviously for me,
I'm more excited for other things.
Wanderlust is, Wanderlust. What the heck? I just played a game that has a Wanderlust action as you can do. As Wonderlands is obviously very exciting for me because Borderlands fan. But yeah, so we'll see. Let's see what else we got. Can anything top these games that we saw?
Well, we're gonna go to E3, which overwhelming, underwhelming. We'll talk about that at the end. But I know a lot of us. We'll get into it. Ubisoft was the first thing I can really mention real quick. I mean, so Ubisoft's conference, which I didn't really watch. I watched the highlights because I was like, it's not really their stuff is okay. It's just not like must plays for me usually. Yep. So looking back, I mean, we got a Rainbow Six Extraction announcement.
That to me looks actually pretty cool. Out of all the stuff they showed, just because like I'm not interested in Rainbow Six, but like watching this, it really reminded me actually of like what, and it's funny, I think Corey will laugh, what an XCOM squad-based co-op first-person shooter could be. Like that's the vibes I got, which is funny because they were working on an FPS XCOM for years and years, and
Oh, I know. I'm reading
the book.
I'm in that book, by the way, guys. Yeah, I'm in that book, by the way. I just finished up Kurt Schilling's chapter.
Nice.
All right.
But to me, I'm like, I'm intrigued. Not like a day one or anything like that, but if I see it, if it gets good reviews and it's like one of those Black Friday specials for $30, Ubisoft usually does. Sure, you know what? I could probably play that. Play that, especially if other people are doing it.
I mean, we used to have so much fun playing Rainbow Six. The
original Xbox, and then Xbox 360 early days. Rainbow Six was the big stuff. Ghost Recon. I mean, yeah.
We used to have a lot of fun with that stuff.
It's all about those games. Oh, just speaking kind of in the same genre, we totally forgot. Like before all this stuff came out, Battlefield 2042.
Oh, that was.
Yeah, I forgot
after
Ubisoft shown first.
This was first. This was the first thing. It was like on Wednesday that came out.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was like for some reason I thought that was shown at like the I know it was shown at the Xbox conference. So we can go into them right there.
For Tuesday, it was like right away. Like, we knew about that. That was the first thing that came out, and they had like
I knew about it. I just I know that I watched most of it during the Xbox conference, but 2042 wasn't.
That I mean I loved Battlefield 3, and this one looks like it might be something I'd get back into.
It's funny because it looks really cool, but my thought is, the next Battlefront's going to be cool.
You'd hope.
Because I'm just not. I'm not interested in like traditional military stuff. I mean, throw a little fantasy nonsense on top of it, then it's fun.
That's not a bad point, Mike. I mean, that might be really awesome. Battlefield though for me was like we had so much fun playing Battlefield 4.
3.
3. It was 3. I'm just so bad at it. Like I would maybe if I got one kill in the match, I'd be celebrating.
But 64 on each side. That's just crazy. That would be. That's just craziness. Crazy.
It's too much for me. Too much.
It's a lot. But let's see. Updates for Assassin's Creed Valhalla from the Ubisoft panel. Let's see what else. Werewolves Within. First look at Sam Richardson's feature. Sam Richardson in Mishna Wolf's Werewolves Within. We got that teased, and we also got Giancarlo Esposito in Far Cry 6. I saw a lot of that stuff all over the place. He looks good. It's Far Cry. Does anybody really care about Far Cry really too much? I mean, it's not really our kind of thing.
I think I burnt myself out after 2 of those games. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I loved. I mean, I love Blood Dragon. I thought that was so much fun, but it's not really main game there, so not really for me. I think perhaps the most intriguing announcement from this. Well, there's 2 that people will talk about. One of them I find the most intriguing. We'll save that one for the end. First things first is the Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Supposed to drop in 2022. We got. It looks like. Can anybody tell me this is going to be first person or third person? Because it was all like CGI
who the fuck cares?
Like, I don't know.
To me, I saw this and I was like, who the fuck cares about this?
Yeah, I didn't actually watch this one because I saw it.
Oh, okay.
This would have been interesting maybe 10 years ago when Avatar was like hot shit. But
my question to you guys is, we should have a bet. Which comes out first? Avatar 2, the movie, or this game? Because who knows, really? I would say the movie was delayed as much as this game. Yeah. I don't know. It's Avatar. I saw people talking about it on Twitter. It was trending, and I was like, okay, let me look at it. I watched it. It's a CG trailer. I mean, I'm not getting.
It's hard to get excited about a.
Have any idea what
property
that this is?
Doesn't. That's what I think Jim was asking. He's like, do we know what this even is?
First person or third person?
We don't. No, we don't know because it switched back and forth, and it looked like there's some first person views in the game. But does that mean the game gets played in third person or first person? We don't know. So whatever. Biggest thing announced at Ubisoft's panel was Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, the new Switch strategy game coming out next year. I think they're aiming for, right? Or is it this year, Tony?
Yep.
Next year.
Mm.
Looks fun. I saw Jason Schreier tweet how to not announce a console but use its hardware, or something like that on Twitter. Yeah. There's been a lot of wondering if Nintendo would announce the Switch Pro this week, but we'll get to that in a second, and later in a little bit actually. But this one looks. I mean, it's CG. I saw a CG trailer for this. Nintendo then ended up. I think Nintendo ended up showing more, didn't they? Today.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
because their direct was today. It's earlier. Mm-hmm. So like Ubisoft, and I think Schreier was mentioning it. Like, didn't they announce a game and show it on a system that didn't exist yet in Watch Dogs, and couldn't say anything about it? Yeah. Seems very similar here, but Nintendo's Direct hadn't happened yet, so.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because like prior to the first game reveal, which again, like on paper, when I think it was Laura Kate Dale, journalist in the UK, she had unveiled a lot of like Switch related tidbits and stuff like that, and this news came out like, oh, it's like a tactics game based on the Mario universe. Blah, blah, blah. Like on paper, it just sounded terrible. Like everybody's like, "What the fuck? That sounds awful. Why would you make that for the Switch?" And then during the presentation for E3, it looked awesome and fun. It's like, holy shit! Like, okay, that's cool. And it's one of the best-selling third-party games on the console now. Yeah. So it got spoiled there. The first game got spoiled there, and then this time, fucking Nintendo themselves spoils it, and it's just like, damn, like, talk about bad luck. I wonder if it's revenge because, like, apparently everybody believes that Ubisoft leaks a lot of the Nintendo-related stuff because they're a big partner of theirs. So.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to Nintendo's coverage on that. They did show more of the game today. What else?
Okay, so that was Mario Rabbids and the
Sparks of Hope.
Sparks of Hope.
Yeah. Also that day, Ubisoft went, and then did Gearbox have something?
Gearbox had their event, but their event was just more Tiny Tina Wonderlands. They did show off a game, something of Midgard that looked interesting. It's kind of like a survival game that actually seemed like, I might play this, where you're building up a army.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
It's like set in the North universe, like a North mythology type of Vikings, and building up your city, building up your crew, and go and attacking other people.
Yeah,
it's looked pretty neat, but I can't remember the name of it now. Something of Midgard.
I don't know. I'm looking for it on here. I'm trying to find it actually. I haven't found a good layout for this stuff yet. I mean, everybody seems to have their own kind of coverage and of what was announced, and it's just
Tribes of Midgard. That's what it was.
Navigating a sea of randomness. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it looked fun. But other than that, it's just more stuff that we've seen already.
Yeah. I mean, and then we had what was the other company that went? Was that Devolver Digital went? Didn't they go?
The Devolver had a thing.
How was theirs? I didn't get to see much from them. What did they have? Anything?
It's a bunch of smaller stuff. It's more about like the story.
It's the show. It's the show. Yeah.
It was pretty funny. I have to say, like it starts off with him like going through like the other shows, and then the guy pans out, and the guy like trying to pitch. It's like it's a whole like
subscription.
There's a whole universe of this thing.
Connected
universe, and they're like, "What? You're crazy!" But and they come out with the Max Pass Plus, like free access to purchase our games.
Yeah, like Devolver, they're just on point with like just poking fun of the industry trends. Like year over year, they're consistent about it. Because like they were one of the first ones to like be like, oh, Nintendo does a direct, let's do one of those, like Devolver Digital and stuff like that. And they started poking them like now everybody's doing it, like blah blah blah. And now, I mean, they even like made fun of NFTs in this one. They're like, we're gonna make like what was it, like one game or something, or like one thing, and that's it. And like it's gonna cost like $1 million or something like that. And they're like, okay, it's like all right.
I mean, they do have what's it, Shadow Warrior 3 coming. I'm looking at the list here.
Some pretty interesting stuff here and there, but again, they're like usually on the smaller side. But there's like some good games that come out of that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the one game I've seen already before, I believe, was The Wizard with a Gun. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that looks really good. All right, so that was day one, right? That was day one. Then we had day two, which kicked off with there's a lot of stuff, but Xbox and Bethesda were the big companies to go on day two, and yes, we got that panel, which I was able to watch that one, and Square-Enix followed them up, which we'll cover in a second. But Xbox panel went I think okay. I've got gripes with them overall. With just, I mean, listen, can we really gripe these companies for showing a lot of CGI trailers? Because I feel like this year we've been prepped for that. This year by itself, usually, yes, we can get on them about it, but I feel like because everything is such in limbo thanks to the pandemic, we don't know when we're going to get this stuff, and neither do they. I mean, looking at Microsoft's thing, it was like, here's our target windows is mostly what we got from them. We didn't really get exact dates for games. And I mean, just off the bat, we got the confirmation, which we all...
Todd Howard came out, right? He started the show, which I was surprised. I thought it would be Phil Spencer, but...
No, Phil didn't show up till like 3/4 in. Give him credit on there. He just was like, I'm going to sit back and let Bethesda take this. And you get Starfield.
Obviously. Right, Starfield. I like that they started with it, because I thought they'd finish with the Bethesda stuff. I'm glad they just got it all out front.
I mean, I'm happy they announced it, but like, I'm still upset that it's CGI. Like, I'm sorry, if you're supposed to launch in a year, like if it's an early game, like this is the first time we're hearing about your franchise, like okay, sort of, I can understand that. But like we knew about Starfield for years and years now, and you're just gonna do a CGI trailer that does not like. I'm just like, well, I can't get excited for that. I can't.
I mean, it wasn't exciting either. So
I mean, listen, I'm excited that the game is coming out at some point. I don't feel like I would like to have
we
seen
don't know that.
something
We don't know that.
it.
It's like, I mean,
It'll come out
we'd like to believe that it would come out, but we can't guarantee that, really.
Yeah.
I mean Microsoft is notorious for canceling shit.
Yeah.
The only thing we get is some idea of the art direction of the game.
Sure. Yeah.
And
I mean, listen, it's Fallout in space.
Yes, very much Fallout.
We knew that. We knew that, though. We all knew that.
But I mean, I thought maybe they would deviate more, but they didn't.
But show like a locale or something, like any type of gameplay, like it just felt like insert any generic like sci-fi.
They did like a super like cut of some like crazy like flashes of stuff. Like at least they could have done that.
Yeah,
but no.
like this. If you took out like where it says like Starfield at the end, Xbox exclusive and all that stuff. If you showed anybody that, like, been like, what game franchise is this? You've been like, Mass Effect or like what? Like it's so generic to me. It was so generic.
Yeah, and that's coming to Game Pass obviously right away. I mean, this Game Pass is just advertisement for its value. We can't say that enough.
But this game is next gen exclusive.
Yes.
Aha.
The first real Xbox next gen exclusive I can think of.
Yes.
Yeah, and it makes sense at this point because it'll be out
In a year at least.
maybe a year. I would assume the year after that, to be honest with you. After
I mean,
listening to the way
first, like, it's like ready to launch, and it goes 11, 11, 22. It's like, is that the date? Like, what is that? What are we
I would.
assuming that's the date? And then it took forever to actually show that that was the date at the end.
So
yeah. 11, 11, 22.
Year and a half.
Yeah. Xbox exclusive Game Pass. Let's see. They also showed Stalker 2. I don't really, not my thing. Back for Blood.
That one.
Back for Blood was another one. October 12th release date on this game. I'm actually shocked that it's going to make it this year. Game Pass and obviously Xbox.
I mean, it's been in alpha and beta. I mean, there were alphas before. Yeah, I got to play the alpha.
Yeah. How was it?
It was good. It was good for what it was doing.
Same type of thing, right?
I mean, Tony, as a Left 4 Dead enthusiast, right? I mean, you got to be pretty psyched for this.
These are the people that made Left 4 Dead, if you guys weren't aware.
I mean, they made that pretty clear with the Back 4 Blood.
Should be Right to Live, right? That should be its real name.
Yeah. But, like, it looked really fun. Like, it does look like a fun multiplayer co-op kind of game. So it looks like Left 4 Dead.
It looks a little dated to me, but I guess that's.
It did seem that way in the alpha, but they got time to clean it up. And
I mean, like, the other thing is too is like I don't think Left 4 Dead was ever a visual stunner.
No.
It was mostly just like, hey, we're gonna throw a shit ton of zombies at you and just slaughter them all.
Weird powers.
And that's fine. Like
a zombie in this one too.
Yeah. So I mean, Left 4 Dead 2 versus Boda had that, I think, where you could do that, and that was
something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy to play something like that on new consoles because I mean that was one of the few titles I like double dipped on. Like I got Left 4 Dead on PC, I got Left 4 Dead on 360. Same thing with the sequel. Like I bought that game, but each game twice. I was like, all right, well, I'm happy to do it. You Valve. And then what they do? Just fucking never work on the third one. Never.
It's it's crossplay. That'll be good.
Yep. Yeah. And Game Pass, that's huge. That's the biggest thing. And it's funny because I'm like pretty sure like my Game Pass, whatever my max subscription was, like expires that month. So I'm just like motherfucker. Like I guess I buy a year now. I don't know. Because let's see. I mean, because yeah. Well, the thing is moving along. I guess maybe I'm jumping ahead, but like Halo Infinite multiplayer is free to play.
Yeah.
So like, that was the other big draw for me for like Game Pass is going to be Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
At least in some capacity, it's like, oh, I imagine I'll probably play through the campaign and a little bit of the multiplayer and see what happens.
Well, we can talk about Halo, by the way, right now. Let's just because we go back. We'll go back here. I wanted to mention some other things earlier, but we can go to Halo Infinite was shown in the middle of the conference, and they didn't. Well, it wasn't shown. It was the multiplayer. Yeah. Which. Go ahead,
I don't know about this guy.
It looked very similar to what we saw from Halo 4 and 5, but the grappling hook thing looks pretty fun.
Sure, but it doesn't look. It just doesn't look amazing. It doesn't look amazing, right?
I mean, the problem is you look at games like Rainbow Six Extraction, Battlefield 2042. They're doing these crazy things that are different, and here's Halo doing the same thing they were doing 20 years ago.
Well,
it's like it's good that you want to stick to your
guns.
Yeah,
I do think.
But same time, like
point though to sort of focus on some of the things they moved away from. I think more vehicles, more floaty, crazy physics, and like just you can hijack a vehicle with your grappling hook that's flying. Like I don't know. There was a few things in there that I'm like, all right, I see what they're going for here. I thought it looked okay, but not like a huge departure.
I think
for me too, that makes it like that. Takes me out of it is actually the Spartans. Like I don't feel connected to the Spartans at all. Like they're just random model number 3.
It's like my G.I. Joe. It's like it's just like all right, whatever.
Like so even if you're gonna put a new paint job on it, it just doesn't feel like it's my character. Like I just feel like they're all just generically the same thing, and I think that actually hurts it more so than it like. Anything
you should be able to customize. You should be able to customize that.
Well, you can. You absolutely can.
The free-to-play aspect of it worries me a little. Like, if this was just going to be a Game Pass thing, it would have been essentially free for most of us. But now there's bundled expectations of more microtransactions now with a free-to-play game like that.
Well, no. If you watched, did you watch the whole video where they did it?
I don't know.
So the cool thing that I thought actually, so I'm sorry, there was a deep dive that they showed off more of it and probably explained more of it. So the cool thing I think about this is they were actually very transparent and forthcoming that like, hey, there's no loot boxes, whatever the hell Halo 5 had, whatever the name was.
Yeah.
They're like, it's free to play. If you want cosmetics and only cosmetics and customizationable stuff, you can buy battle passes. But unlike other battle passes, our battle passes will never like be out of rotation, so to say. So like season 1 battle pass.
You don't have to kill yourself to finish in a specific time.
It doesn't matter what battle pass we're on, 12, 13, 14. You can go back by the first one and unlock the stuff and, so on and so forth. And I was like, that's cool because like Corey just said, like, I hate that about battle passes because like League of Legends had that, and when I was just playing that game, that was fun. But then, I play Magic Arena that has a battle pass, Overwatch, and now I'm just like, dude, I can't get max level on all these battle passes. Like, it's literally impossible for somebody that has any type of job. Like, it's impossible. So it's frustrating because you want to get like, and of course they hide the good skins or whatever at like the high levels. So it's like you got to play like 10, 20 hours, even though you paid money for it.
Basically, get nothing.
Right, exactly. So it's frustrating. It's super negative. So I like that. Cool. They're like, you can buy at any point in time and you can raise your XP to, unlock all the stuff in that track. You never have to worry about it, being like, oh, like you missed it. Sorry. Like, So I think that's cool. But the other thing is there is a lot of customization about your Spartan. I agree with you guys though, about how like, it's like, you don't feel connected. And here's where in my personal brain space, whatever, like, I get you have to have your Halo Infinite like Master Chief campaign because that's the draw for the people that love the Halo series franchise.
I mean, I love multiplayer. I actually do love Halo multiplayer.
Yeah.
You guys, I love that. But I love the single player version.
Yeah.
I love the game.
But what I really would have loved to have them do, again, just in my personal brain swirly, thought, you could have the Halo Master Chief, but also do segments or a different part of the campaign or a different mode where it's like, hey, you are training your Spartan, and now it's like, this is your character, this is your Spartan, and you go on a different set of missions, and maybe even help out like Master Chief in some levels. You could remix a level and be like, hey, well, Master Chief's doing this shit over here, like you're off, helping him like take down the satellite station or something like that. That way you could have like a connection with your Spartan rather than just like, oh, this is my character who's wearing like pink armor. It's like, who the fuck cares? Like that, I have no.
Yeah. No, and it's like that's the thing. Like I said, the biggest complaint for me, and I know you're going to be able to customize your Spartan.
You just want them to be guardians, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It's just like the characters are just everyone's the same, and just like look at Overwatch's characters. Like I mean, you have such great personalities and stuff as well.
Game though.
No, I know. I'm not saying the same, but even like I just feel like there's no personality to the Spartan. They're all the same. So that's just my opinion, but that's actually what takes me out of it the most, which is weird. Just watching the multiplayer video, and I haven't even played it, but just watching it.
It definitely feels dated in 2021. Like I think you get away with that, Halo 1 through 3 or whatever like that. It's 2021. Like you just said, you look at all these popular shooters now. You look at Overwatch. You look at Apex Legends. You look at Rainbow Six. These are all
before this aired, Battlefield 2042 had its multiplayer premiere just before this on their own presentation, didn't it? I mean, it went right out. I mean,
I don't know. I didn't watch it. Did they have characters?
It went just before it, I believe. It had the multiplayer premiere on there, and I'm like, I know Battlefield's not everybody's game, but if you look at that game, just look at the visuals compared to what they were giving us with Halo, and you're like, it's not that impressive. It really isn't. And again, back to the campaign. The fact that we got 0, just like
that's concerning. That is super concerning. Yes, and I really feel like the fact that they like dropped that because we even speculated on this last year. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
We speculated around E3. I was trying to find the podcast about it, but I really feel like they're just going to ship multiplayer this year and they're going to push back campaign.
I think so too. I mean, after the pandemic, I don't blame them. They have an excuse.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
But I feel like it might have happened anyways. But they have an excuse, given that they have that. Yeah. So you're right. I think multiplayer launches this year. And I just do not see the campaign coming out. I think it gets pushed, just because they have so much work to do.
And the fact that they're not tethered together, though, for me, probably means I'm not even going to bother with a campaign anyway. So
yeah.
I mean, there's that for people too. So I mean, you don't have to even worry about it if it's something you don't want. So It's nice to do that.
All right. I want to go back real quick. I would like to mention that 12 Minutes is a time looping puzzle game that I am very excited for. Thank you. Yeah, it looks good.
So cool. I remember seeing it last year at E3.
Yeah, they did it last year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a Game Pass game, August 19th that launches. I think it looks great. I can't wait to play that game.
Good type of game for Game Pass because it's just good for someone who wants to try something different, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking for that time loop kind of game, and I can't imagine it disappoint on like another time loop kind of game. Just kind of keeping it vague there, but it definitely is right up my alley. And I when I saw the release date finally, I'm like, because I saw it last year and I was intrigued, and now I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to play this game. Psychonauts 2 footage, just cinematic, which is weird because it launches August 25th.
I thought we saw some platforming gameplay.
I think we saw gameplay last year. I don't think we saw it this. Maybe they just didn't have time. They wanted to show too much.
I don't know.
It looked like there's gameplay moments, but maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really understand why people go crazy about this series, but it was always lost on me. I don't know what it is.
There's nostalgia going for this. That's all I know. And this was a crowdfunded thing originally too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know. So it's coming out this year though. And then let's see what else they have they're in their show. They had Diablo 2 Resurrected shown, 4K, 60 frames per second gameplay. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I know that you can make fun of it for not looking that great, but I think it does look pretty good. I mean, I think it looks like Diablo should look in this day and age, and I don't know. I'm excited to play the game again. It was one of my favorite games.
They made a
Diablo 2
to show the actual old game to show you that they up-resed it so much because otherwise you wouldn't have noticed that much.
No, I mean, because you have, when you think back in a game, like you always remember it looking like GoldenEye. You remember it looking much better than it actually did. So
they had to do that for this because what the end result, it doesn't look super great, but
it
doesn't look good. I don't think it's good.
September 23rd release date for everybody. Let's see. I don't know what Shredders was. I don't really care about talking about that game. Plague Tale looks really good, but Requiem, that looked really good. Graphic wise looked really good. Let's see, we've got anything big from this. I didn't.
Well, Redfall looked pretty cool, I thought.
What was wrong?
Oh, that was the end.
Yeah, I'm getting into that.
Oh, I thought you said, is there anything else? I was like, oh.
No, I'm going through it. Aiden Chronicle.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Which was so crazy, Tony, is because I literally had no idea that this was like the spiritual. But
we talked about this.
Okay,
I don't remember talking about this. I remember like I'm watching the video and I'm like, I want to play this game, and that's when I messaged you guys in Discord, and Tony's like, oh yeah, it's a spiritual successor of Suikoden, and I'm like, oh, that makes so much more sense now. I mean, I get that vibe. I do get that vibe for the games.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. So that's delayed.
They actually came on the Kickstarter update too for the backers to talk about like, oh, we're going to Game Pass and what it means and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, for this real quick, what I want to talk about, because I received an email about that. They said, obviously, they received a lot of money from the Kickstarter, but it's still not enough to like do everything they want to do with the game and stuff like that. Because $3 million sounds like a lot, but once you factor in a lot of stuff, I mean, after Tri's book, they talk about
talk about that.
After listening to that book, you burn through budgets. Yeah,
you burn through your money so quick. But doing this Game Pass deal allowed them to get another DLC or something like that, and because of that, now all backers are going to get this DLC for free. So the game is just better because of that. So like that,
that's good.
That is awesome, and that's a good example.
Plus, we'll have our name in the credits too, Tony.
So. Yeah, exactly. Like that. But yeah, that's cool, and hopefully that means that's a fruit of Phil Spencer visiting Japan and trying to increase relationships with Japanese developers.
Makes me more confident that the game will be coming out in a timely
fashion.
Yeah,
an injection of budget of money is always good for a product.
Yeah, and help. I mean, they definitely are getting help as well.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just looking through the list here. Age of Empires 4, releasing October 28th, finally for Xbox. That's a game I'll play. Oh no, it's PC. I'm sorry, PC on Game Pass. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna play, but I have a PC. I'm literally using my PC right now, so I can actually play that game. But I think the greatest trailer for all of E3.
No, don't say Sea of Thieves. Don't say it.
Was Outer Worlds 2.
Okay. I was like, you say something stupid about Captain Jack showing up in Sea of Thieves, and I'm like,
I skipped over that. I didn't even talk about it. I skipped
slightly excited for them. Do they have Johnny Depp voice?
It is a very big. No,
I doubt
You
it.
can't touch. You cannot touch Johnny Depp right now.
Well, they threw him in this game.
Sure, they did because Disney's property. They have the property of the characters.
Yeah,
so.
but it's his likeness clearly.
His
and
likeness,
his style of talking at the very least.
It's an impressionist. There's no question. There's no way they got him in this game. But I will say that like Outer Worlds 2's trailer was just hilarious. It was
good.
perfect thing for an E3 trailer. It needed to be said. It's exactly what we all know about E3 now.
I mean, it definitely reminded me of like a Devolver Digital thing. That's
sure.
That's what I was like. Oh, that's funny.
I'm a little like I don't know. I'm a little soured on that. I'm like, all right, cool, and then we'll wait like 4 years, and this game will be 8 hours when it comes out.
Yeah, I mean,
that's kind of my feeling on the first Outer Worlds.
But Outer Worlds was a great game, even at the short term it was. I don't need a 100-hour game, Mike. I'm sorry, I just don't.
It just felt lacking. I don't know. There wasn't enough to it.
Mike, you can't play 100 hours games very soon. Just saying that. It's gonna be tough for you. It's gonna be very tough for you to do that soon.
We'll see about
that. Forza Horizon 5. That was amazing looking trailer. Like, I don't know what this company can do with hardware. Like, it is crazy how good they are at programming these environments, and not just the cars, the environments as well. Because they've been doing it on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
But now they have the power of the PC, the Series X, and they can actually do 60 frames per second.
Power of the cloud, Jim. I know you want to.
I was waiting for you to say.
Whoa, calm down. Calm down. No. PC and the Series X, and you're able to actually like render these things in 4K 60 frames. Horizon was always a game that I was like, I loved, but the 30 frames, once you see 60 for a racing game, you're like, I don't want to play a racing game in 30 frames. I just don't. So like I'm psyched for 5. I really am psyched for Horizon 5, which takes place in Mexico. And this company's, they are so good. For those who have never played Horizon games, these people go and take pictures of the locations to accurately re-render them in the game. This is going to be extremely accurate to where you guys can see like the towns because they've re-rendered these things like down to the basic things. November 7th release date. Shocked actually that it's going to make it this year with everything going on, but good thing that they have something. That's the game for me this year from them because I don't believe release dates of the other stuff. I do believe Horizon 5 will be November 7th. Like I said, I don't believe Halo makes it this year. I just don't.
You'll get something Halo. But...
Oh, I think multiplayer. I think Tony's right. I think Tony's right about the multiplayer. Lastly, Redfall, as Corey was going to bring up earlier. I got a Hunter vibe. Didn't you?
Yeah. I was like, oh, this reminds me of.
You guys remember Hunter?
No, I feel like this is Left 4 Dead, but with vampires.
Okay, a Hunter was the 4-player co-op undead shooter, like 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3/4 3D shooter kind of thing, where it's like kind of like a Diablo game but multiplayer.
Is this a 3D shooter or is this a first-person shooter?
I don't know. I got.
Oh, because we didn't see.
I thought it was first. Yeah, I figured this would be a first-person game, but who knows?
I'm hoping.
For me, this is disappointing as a last reveal.
Sure.
Anytime earlier in the conference, I would have been cool with it.
But this is like you guys said you were happy they opened with Starfield. I would have preferred they closed with this. If they're going to close with CG, close with Starfield. But I know what you're saying.
Because get the big thing out of the way. So people aren't like just like glancing over.
It's not a good way to close. This was not a bad conference.
I don't disagree with that. I think it looks good, but I don't disagree that this is not.
Yeah, the cinematic looked good, but I can't play a cinematic.
Yeah, exactly. Like it wasn't a bad conference for them at all. They should have ended with Horizon 5. Why not end with Forza Horizon 5 then?
Nobody wants to end on a racing game.
But you don't end on a CGI. I understand Tony's point. Like you just don't want to end on
CG trailers like all the time.
It would have been fine if it was something people were looking for, maybe.
I mean, this is just a brand new thing,
something totally new. Which I mean, we always.
If it was like Fable, that would have been fine. You would have been happy if it was like a Fable CG trailer, Jim.
We didn't get Fable. I forgot about that. We didn't get Fable. Where's Fable?
It's like this because this is a brand new thing. It wasn't as like impactful. Like, oh no, look at this! It's Halo.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like the Xbox, like you're saying, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
If you have Game Pass, it's cool because you're gonna have a lot of games coming out. But
my
you wouldn't even
Yakuza
normally play, but you can.
Yeah, Yakuza announcement is good, but like it's disappointing to me the fact that like this was supposed to show the rest of the games for the year, right?
Sure.
And what's coming out? Horizon?
But we kind of knew this already. I mean, Jason Schreier told us about this earlier. Like he's like, this is the year we're gonna feel this.
No, I understand that. But that's Jason Schreier's job is to report the news. Microsoft's job is to release fucking games on their goddamn game system.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, like a year, in exactly 1 year after the Xbox Series X launches, like what are the exclusives? Forza, and Halo
so far,
multiplayer. Like what?
So far, I mean, you're right. I mean, they need to release some games, but I mean, the games are actually, at least that we see games in development for the system. Like, I know that's the big takeaway here. We have games that are actually being made, new games.
Yeah, like Everwild, right?
Not
like Everwild.
Yeah, right? yeah, I know. We're going to talk about that in the podcast.
Remember everybody was like, oh, look, it looks so good. And I'm like, yeah, but we didn't see gameplay. So how can I entrust that this game is going to fucking come out? And look, now
apparently it did look good because it's getting completely rebooted. For those who are wondering, we'll just talk about it real quick on here. But I don't know what followed Microsoft's conference. Was Capcom?
Was this
no? It was Square. It was Square.
Square.
Oh, God.
Okay. Square is pretty much one thing, and that's it.
Well, Square had a lot of flack because I heard that their method of presenting their information to you was just insulting.
So if you had a 40-minute conference, 45, whatever it was, wasn't even an hour. Don't spend fucking half that time on one game.
25 minutes.
The first game.
25 minutes. Yeah, that's what I spent on it. Yeah.
On Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy intrigues me. Like, I look at it. It looks.
There seems to be a lot of ways.
There's nothing for me.
There's some people saw it and said this looks like shit, and other people are excited about it. Exactly. I'm a little confused by it myself. I'm getting like some Mass Effect vibes, obviously.
Sure.
It is curious to me that Star-Lord is the only playable character, and they just dumped information on us, and the characters won't shut the fuck up. It seems like either. I don't know if that's how the game is really going to be. Probably not, but if they talk that frequently in the game, like that's a lot. But I'm not sure.
A lot of the talking is when you give commands to the squad mates, they do their little quip to let you know that they're doing their move or whatever like that.
I mean,
certainly a surprise, and it's coming out this year allegedly. So that's
allegedly.
I mean, it's been in development for a while. So
I'm shocked that it looks. I don't think it looks that great. So I mean,
I don't think it looks that great, but I don't think it looks bad either.
I mean, can you trust anything after Avengers though? Like coming out of IDOS or Crystal
Dynamics? I know. I'm whatever. Like I'm not even like saying like.
I'm hoping it's surprising. Like Outrider surprised me.
I think it's cool that it's a single player, not microtransaction riddled game that has voice acting, all that stuff that you want to. Like, I mean, even if we're not about this, we should be like at least somewhat optimistic that this type of game will succeed. Because the thing is, like,
yes,
regardless of it being a bad game, like it's good that it's being created, and because they easily could have this could have just been Avengers in space, but with fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. It easily could have just been that. Like, hey, games as a service kind of bullshit. Like, easily could have been that.
There's enough Guardians characters to match what they have in Avengers so far.
Yep, exactly. So
it's true. I mean, it could have been that, and then I'm very happy that they're giving you a single player experience.
But a lot of people are pretty annoyed that you're only Star-Lord, supposedly.
Supposedly.
See. So. But yeah, no, I don't know. The trailer didn't do it for me, and like spending as much time as you did on it.
Yeah, it was half the fucking.
It was a huge info dump. Huge one for that game.
Yeah, it was stupid.
So at the end of it, they gave us a Final Fantasy remaster kind of thing.
Well, that was in the middle.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well,
what did I miss?
You're skipping the Final Fantasy 1 through 6.
That's what I was going to talk about.
That wasn't at the end. It was in the middle.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
They spent 1 minute on it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
They spent 1 minute on it after spending fucking 25 minutes on the goddamn Guardians of the Galaxy deep dive. They spent 1 minute on the franchise that kept SquareSoft in like the lights on, kept half coming in. Their bread and butter, what they're known for. 1 minute, hey guys, we're redoing Final Fantasy 1 through 6. And then at the end, it's like coming to Steam and mobile. And it's just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, how can you just be that fucking clueless about your audience? How can you be that fucking clueless of your audience? Like, it just boggles my mind. Absolutely boggles my mind that it's like, why isn't this out on everything? Everything. Like, there's no reason for this not to be on every fucking system, every fucking console, every fucking platform.
Sure.
Like, it's stupid. Like, and then I was like, you know what? Maybe they just didn't announce it for like the systems because Nintendo wanted it in their Nintendo Direct reel on today, Tuesday. And, you know, because they've done that before. Square's done that, I think, with Trials of Mana or whatever, one of the Mana games. No, it didn't happen. So fuck Square. Yeah. I don't understand. And then I'm gonna say fuck Square again because then they unveiled a new game that we didn't know about.
Yes.
Which is Strangers in Paradise.
Which is from
Final Fantasy Origin.
Yeah.
Origins or
like
Origin, yeah.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but this reeks to me of like peak edginess, like late 90s, mid 2000s, where it's just like you just got this angry white dude and he's like, I'm here to kill chaos. Chaos. I'm like, that's all he says throughout the fucking trailer. Just like,
that's
what do you...
that meme was from. I didn't even watch this. I just heard people commenting all over about killing chaos.
Dude, you just like watch this trailer. It's like 2 or 3 minutes long, and you'll just be like, how is this a real game? How is this not like a meme? Like,
the thing honestly, that annoys me too is you're putting Final Fantasy on this thing, but it's like a straight up action game, right? It's not even like
it's a retelling of 1 with Souls-like action combat. That's what the official description is of it.
But yeah. I mean, I don't mind them branching out Final Fantasy, but like this is just so far removed from what Final Fantasy is and stood for. Like, look at the main character. The main character looks like he just stepped out of the fucking H&M. Like, he's wearing like a fucking Henley t-shirt, black jeans, and fucking combat boots with a giant ass sword. He's got like short buzz blonde hair and scruff. I'm just like, yeah, okay, go stand next to Squall and Cloud and Noctis and, you know, Celeste or Rydia or, you know, whoever. It's like, you don't fit here. You don't fucking fit here. And then
one of these things does not belong.
Yeah. It's like, then they're like, we're the Warriors of Light. I'm like, oh my God. Like, if they had released this video on April 1st, I'd be like, haha, good April Fool's joke. It's like, what if a Western studio made Final Fantasy? And it's like, that's what we got. And it's just like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like it should be like a Devil May Cry game or something.
Yeah, like, exactly. But like not even good Devil May Cry. Like that fucking DMC shit. Like that's it. That's exactly a comparison, right? It just looks like DMC. But anyway, fuck this shit. Square just...
How about Babylon's Fall?
That looked like garbage too. Oh my God.
I didn't see that. I'm just reading about it. So
No. Watch
Platinum Games.
I know.
I'm trying to watch it right now.
I know. Watch both. Don't watch it now.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now while we're talking. I might as well. I didn't get to see this
fucking garbage. Holy hell. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but like, the game looked better before the last time we saw it, and now it looks worse. I don't know how that happens, but it happened with this game. But yeah, anyway,
Halo showed us that could be the case too.
You're right. But yeah, Square Conference, not good.
No.
Yeah, it was. People were really, really like.
No Outriders.
This looks really
DLC,
bad.
Nothing.
Is this a PS3 game?
That's what I was saying. Mid 2000s, man.
Oh, this is really bad. Sorry. All right, onward. That's really bad. That's really bad. All right, so that was day 2. Day 3 was weird. There was a Verizon panel. Why? I can't remember the panels, but it was like
really sponsored. I'm sure E3 was like, oh, we'll give you money or give us money.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand that. Like they had let's see, Take-Two had a panel. Verizon had a keynote on its 5G future of gaming. Razer had a panel. This was like the Intellivision Amico got a decent like the home console thing they're talking about. It's not good. Yeah, day 3 was just quiet. Really, I mean, there was just except for Capcom, right? Capcom was the only thing that really happened on day 3.
They were quiet too,
and they were quiet as well. So let's see, just development. Oh wait, can we go back real quick to Square? Where's Final Fantasy the episode 2? Final Fantasy 7?
Too soon.
Remake.
Too soon. They don't want. They just released Interlude, dude. They just released Interlude.
But I just like, come on. You can't give us 5 years of a game every now and then. You can't make this game take 20 years to come out. You can't. You can't do that. I'll be dead.
Insert the Anakin meme right now. That's hot on the internet. Or it's Anakin.
Yeah. You can't do that. Oh. Like I'm making myself survive to play a game. I mean, Jesus. I'll be my every year I go, my reflexes come down and down and down. I you know what I mean? Like eventually I'm gonna just have like the accessibility options on. But anyways, all right. Let's see. Capcom.
It's not even worth talking about Capcom. All they did was talk about
development on
the big
DLC.
Yeah, the DLC.
Yeah.
That's it. Resident Evil 8 DLC.
Yeah, they really didn't do anything else. Yeah, nothing.
Again, I'm pretty sure this is just one of those things where E3 is like, hey, give us money and we'll let you have a show. Or something.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. What? So let's get to that brings us to Tuesday. That would be today.
What did Sony? Didn't Sony have something?
No. We just got the Horizon State of Play.
Oh, that's right before everything. What was there was a game I can't even remember the name of it now, but it looked pretty interesting. It looked like a Disney Pixar movie. What was that? I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Huh?
Come on, Jim.
From what?
Jim, pull this out of your ass somehow.
Wait, the Sony what?
Wasn't it from Sony?
When are you talking about?
Like pretty recently. I don't know.
That's a month? 2 months? 3 months?
They're not doing anything during
the last couple days. What was it
What are
called?
you talking about? Sony?
I don't know if it was a PlayStation 5 game. I don't know if it's from Sony or not. I just don't. I thought it looked like a Disney movie.
Corey, are you hallucinating?
Sony has not said a thing at all this whole week. It's been this has done nothing.
Radio silence, dude.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm saying there was a game. I thought they put a trailer out this weekend.
No, they have done nothing this week.
Not Sony. I'm not. It's for PlayStation 5 though. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I don't know if
maybe
Sony
we missed the game, but because Sony purposely has done nothing this week.
We're all just what the
Oh, Kena Bridge of Spirits. That's the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I've heard about that before.
That was shown a while back. Yeah.
But they had I didn't know. I didn't. They put it's coming to PS4 too. So.
Oh, look, another title being held back.
All right. Well, let's get into Nintendo. Nintendo happened today.
Sorry.
What's that?
I thought it looked pretty good. That's why it's
coming out this year.
It should be coming out for Xbox too. I think.
Is it coming out this year?
It says August.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We haven't heard anything since then. So yeah, it's way too soon. Let's see. Nintendo's conference happened today, and I'm happy they had an E3. I mean, like I said, Microsoft was fine. I have no problem with Microsoft.
Microsoft was passable, but my God, like in terms of announcements, Nintendo was the only one that delivered. Like in terms of like anything relevant, and I was prepared to be disappointed. I'm like, nah, this is E3 just fucking sucking. Why not even look forward to this?
Let's kick it off with Smash. Kazuya, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't play Tekken. So personally, I'm not really interested in this DLC character, but I thought the video trailer is really funny. Where he's just defeating all the fighters, just like throwing people off. Yeah. It's like he starts all his Ganondorfs, like just tosses them in the volcano. Captain Falcon, Marth.
Wasn't he like tossed the volcano himself in the Tekken games or something? Isn't that one of the things?
Wouldn't know. But I mean, it is volcano is related to his shtick. I know that. It's just it's funny seeing him do it to Smash Brothers character.
Yeah.
Yeah, they announced Square's Guardians of the Galaxy game we just talked about will launch on the Switch
as a cloud.
Yes.
Cloud title. So that would be interesting.
It would be interesting how that works. And then we went to the big reveal. In my opinion, the big game.
Yeah, it was definitely
for the entire E3. Metroid Dread, Samus's last story in the Metroid saga. I think it's from what I'm hearing today. This will conclude her story.
Where did you see that?
I saw that on Twitter. Where did I see that from? Somebody had said that. Schreier, maybe? Or
read something that says something similar to that.
I don't know why they would ever say this is her final adventure. That'd be the dumbest thing ever. Like, hey guys, no Metroid games ever in the future. Like even when Fire Emblem, like they will release it
supposed to close out the story of her relationship with the Metroids or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So-
Maybe like the Metroid. Maybe they're moving on. Sure, I could see that. But like being like, oh, Samus has no stories left.
But I'm just saying that's what I read.
Okay.
So, not like I'm sure they'll never use that character. Not like they never use the character again, but this will conclude the main like story that they've been telling with her or something like that. So, whatever that's going to be. But yeah, man, 2D Metroid style game, 2.5D, whatever you want to call it. Like, yeah, I mean, you were writing on Discord that I was in the middle of working and I like rushed to get things done and ran back to watch this. And I skipped through the Smash and the Square to get to this announcement. Yeah, I'm psyched. Like, reminds me of Super Metroid. I really can't wait to play this game. It's a 2D, like a side scroller kind of game. Metroidvania. I mean, that's it. This is it.
This is not the Prime. They said they're still doing Prime.
No, but this is my Metroid. This is my Metroid.
It's not mine.
You know, I never played Prime, and I know I'm missing out.
I never had an NES or a Super Nintendo, but I had a GameCube and a Wii. So,
but see, my brother Matt played more Prime. He's played Metroid Prime, so he knows Metroid as that. This is my Metroid. Like, I played Super Metroid. I played Metroid the original. I mean, I used to enter like Justin Bailey as the code.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to do that on NES all the time, and like. I know my Metroid games. I mean, when I was sick at home, I would play Metroid on NES. I remember that as a kid, constantly. And like, I mean, like I said, Super Metroid was like, holy shit! I can't believe they took the NES game and they made it into this. And I can't wait for this game. And then Metroid on the Game Boy was incredible. Like, I love that game too. What was it? Game Boy?
Samus Returns?
Yeah, Samus Returns.
Metroid 2.
That was
yeah,
fantastic.
so I mean, right. And when we got Samus Returns on the 3DS, it was done by Mercury Stream, I believe, or Mercury Steam. I think they're a Spanish studio or whatever like that. And I said, because that was unfortunate because they released it. It was one of the last 3DS games where it's like, hey, we released a Switch, and then 6 months later, it's like, hey, here's Metroid on 3DS. I'm just like, why am I playing on my fucking 3DS when I have my goddamn Switch now? But that game is a good remake, and I even said, like, hey, like, this is a good basis for them to cut their teeth on a Metroid title, and hopefully we get a sequel out of them. So here we are a couple years later, and we're getting Metroid proper, like a new entry. So I'm happy. I'm excited. I literally texted, like, I put in the Discord, I messaged other Discords, I texted a couple people, and they're like, what? And it was funny because everybody thought I was shitting them. Like, everybody thought I was just, like, trolling them. Like, no, get out of here. I was like, why would I lie about this? Like, I would never lie about Metroid. Like, I would not play with somebody's heart like that. So
yeah, I mean, when you typed it, I was like, no. I read it. I'm like, I even read it the first time you wrote it. I didn't even respond to you like within like the first minute or two, and I'm like, really? Question mark? Really?
Was this the game that was like supposedly rumored or is coming out for the DS?
Yeah, so way back when, in either Metroid Prime 1 or 2 or whatever like that, there was an entry log where they talk about a code name like a Metroid Dread or something like that. And everybody thought that was going to be the next proper Metroid series or whatever like that. And they even admitted they worked on it on the DS or something like that. But Sakamoto did this interview where he's like, yeah, we didn't have the technology to do what we really wanted. So we just put it in the, I don't know, bin of ideas to just do later. And apparently that's now. So it'll be interesting. It looks like
time for it.
Yeah, it looks like the main opponent this time is going to be some advanced robot thing that like hunts Samus down and stuff like that. Which
like the Nemesis system essentially. It looks like it's going to be constantly following you.
Yeah. Which I mean, Metroid Fusion had that because the story of Metroid Fusion was Samus loses her suit to this parasite. I think it's called Parasite X that takes over her suit, and she has to like hide the whole game from her original suit because her suit's bullshit overpowered. And she's like, well, I don't have my original suit, so you had to run and hide from it and stuff like that. So this looks like an evolution of that. So super excited to see what happens, and it's launching in October.
Yeah, October this year. This is the game. This is my game this year. This is it. This is the game.
4 months. Reveal to release. 4 months. Look at that. You could do it. It's amazing.
If it comes out that day. It'll come out this year.
They would not have dated it and showed off footage, like extensive gameplay. They played it for like 45 minutes on Treehouse today. Like a long time. So
I know it's coming out. It's coming out. Yeah. So Metroid Prime was mentioned in brief. So our bet is still alive.
What was good
in
because
fact-
it is still alive. The other game was not mentioned at Ubisoft.
No, that's
at
I'm
all.
in trouble.
You are in trouble, my friend. You're in trouble. That didn't even get like a bullet point. It
Nope.
was
Nope.
Nothing.
It's
Nothing at all.
unbelievable how this bet's gone this long. Anyways, yeah. So Worms Rumble, like Worms game, Worms June 23rd. Worms this month.
Worms games are always fun, I guess.
Shin Megami Tensei 5 launching exclusively on the Switch November 12th.
I like that they split those games off from Persona games. It's like,
Yeah.
You got your Persona games and you got your Shin.
They split the Persona games off of
Well,
this series.
sure. I understand that. I'm just saying I like that they split that off.
Yeah.
Obviously should get him first, but I'm just saying I like that they didn't like try to
This is
make
more
like,
the
back
Shin
and
Megami
forth.
games
It's like,
are
yeah,
more like
do two
traditional
different
like
things.
RPGs, right? Is that what they are? More not traditional, but they're
Well,
more story driven. They're not actiony as much.
No, I mean it's an RPG. It plays like Persona. It uses a lot of the same enemies and spell names and all that stuff. It's like if Persona is like the anime friendly, like whatever, like power of friendship, blah blah blah. Shin Megami Tensei is like the Game of Thrones, where like fuck you, we're gonna like the game takes place during the apocalypse of Tokyo, like just like well, fuck, it's like
Everything's fucked. It's a dark world. Everything's dark.
Yep, everything's dark.
All right, WarioWare, get it together. Announced, revealed for the first time, and it will include multiplayer. I mean, WarioWare is a game that I'm shocked they haven't done more of, and here it is, right? I mean, about time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I like those styles of game. This is like one of those B franchises that, obviously not top tier. It's not Zelda. It's not Mario and stuff like that. But it's cool to diversify.
It's consumer friendly.
Yeah, and like I'm sure your boys would love that. Like that is such a silly, goofy, funny, like just
no, it's
fun type of game.
This list
I enjoyed it on the Wii when they had the Wii version. So.
Yeah, Smooth Moves, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, this list is missing things. What else was announced on the Nintendo before we got to Zelda stuff? There was another thing. Mario Party, that's what it was. I knew there was games missing. I'm like, this list is incomplete.
Yeah. And I'm excited for this one because this is a return to form of the original format, where I think they define that as 1 through 6. So between the N64 and GameCube versions, where it's like, hey, look, you have a board, you have a real controller, no motion bullshit, and you just play mini games and stuff like that. And they're bringing back what they consider the most popular mini games and stuff like that, obviously done in HD and stuff like that. But the cool thing about this is it's completely online from the get-go now. You can play all the modes online, and the game even saves state. So, like, if you can play a friend, you can just stop the game and be like, hey, we'll continue this tomorrow or next week or whatever like that, and you can pick it up again, which is, to me, a godsend, because, like, I love Mario Party, but, like, when somebody's like, hey, you want to do a 20-turn game? It's like, that could be 1 hour, that could be 2 hours, like, who knows if I'm going to have that time, in a row, or everybody's going to have that time in a row and stuff like that. So, it looks fun. Going to be a 10 million copy seller.
Fatal Frame.
Yes. I talked about this game, I think, in one of my top horror games or something like that. One of the PS2
we
ones.
mentioned it in our Halloween episode.
Yeah. So this is exciting because this never got localized outside of Japan, I believe. So it's good that they're, releasing more content. And it's an interesting survival game where, again, because I think I talked about Pokemon Snap recently, about how photography is a bigger thing in games thanks to Pokemon Snap. And this, instead of fighting ghosts, you take pictures of them, and that's how you seal them and stuff like that. So,
yeah. And then we moved into Zelda to finish up the show, which was a great way to finish it. We got the Game & Watch.
Advance Wars?
Oh my god, I knew I skipped one other thing. My fault. Advance Wars 1 and 2 in the same game, remaster collection. Corey.
I got my cart right here.
Yeah. We used to play this game nonstop. I mean, travel, trips, whatever, we play Advance Wars 2. I remember that, him and I, in the back of the cars.
Game Boy Color.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance. Yes, the flip.
So yes.
Advance Wars,
but we play this to death. I want to play. I never really played 1. It was 2 I was playing. So I played
definitely
2.
1. I thought.
No, it was Advance Wars 2. Pretty certain, if I remember right. I played them both then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we play them both. I still have my second one here.
Yeah, so this is coming this year.
This year, December 3rd, I believe.
Yeah.
December 3rd.
I mean, it's
remastered.
amazing. Like you're getting both in one purchase there, which I thought it'd be like $40, but I
60.
think they said it's
Yeah,
Is it
60.
60?
Nintendo
Yeah.
60. Yep. Yeah, I
Yep.
call it the
Because
Nintendo
WarioWare
60.
is only 50. So
I
Yeah,
know.
I
This
thought it'd
is
be
60.
cheaper, but I mean that's fine. Like I said, I'm really hoping it does well because I'd love to see a full blown
new one, yeah.
new one with the same, not as much, but like same effort that they put into the Fire Emblem series. Like, let's get a nice blown out Advanced Wars game. We talked about early in the podcast. I'm a little disappointed. It's not sprites, but at the same time, I understand, what they're doing here. They're, upgrading, upresing, and all that stuff. The nostalgia factor in me is what is missing.
No,
but
I mean,
it's the
I think
same
the
game.
sprites looked amazing, but I think sprites are so hard to work on nowadays. It's like nobody wants to do it.
I mean, that's what I totally say too. Like, I would have loved it for this to have like at least reminiscent of Square's HD 2D stuff, where it's like
Yeah,
2D looking effects on 3D plane and stuff like that.
Game that you didn't.
The Octopath.
Yeah.
Octopath would be a good
An
one.
Octopath and
Yeah.
Even though you got that too now, which is awesome.
Yeah, but this, whatever. I mean, it's cartoony, it's light, it's colorful, so I'm happy about that. But the weird thing is, because this came out after the conference, is that this is being done by Way Forward. So they do 2D sprite work. Like
that's
River
their
City.
bread and butter.
Yeah, they did River City Girls. They did
The sequel coming out from them too.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I forgot to mention that. Yeah. So I was like, why wouldn't you just get them to do new sprite work? So it's not a decision, but I'm happy that we have it rather than not.
Exactly.
Like Corey said. So definitely looking forward to that, and I think with a little love and a little treatment,
hopefully
this could be fire.
We hopefully get a 3 after this. That's what I would love to see out of it.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
Yeah.
And then before you go into the last news, there was one other thing that I'm personally excited about is the Super Monkey Ball 1 and 2 HD.
All right.
Port, because I was so upset when they ported the Wii one last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was, to the modern platforms. Like, why would you port the worst one? Like, it was stupid. Absolutely stupid that they ported the worst one first. But they're making up for it, and I think it's only going to be 40 or something like that. So happy about that.
Yeah. All right. Zelda had to close out the show. Game & Watch was shown, which shows the original Zelda, Legend of Zelda game, and Zelda 2, which is interesting for me because I never really got to finish Zelda 2. It was a game that I had played and was ready to finish, and then I just kind of stopped playing it. So I'd like to go back and play that game. Plus, it has
Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening Game Boy version on it. So, I just played Link's Awakening. It's not as intriguing for me there, but at least I could play the first game and the second game again on a little tiny handheld.
It's a novelty thing. I mean, you could already play those with your Nintendo subscription online. Sure. But it's a cool novelty thing. Like, I have the Mario one just because it was a cool, like, oh, look, display piece or whatever like that. But I only had the, like, Mario Brothers and Lost Levels. So they added one more game to this, so that's cool. And it looks like the clock feature has interactive, like you could play while the clock is, and the alarms are going off and stuff like that.
Yep. So it's cool. Skyward Sword was shown next, the remaster for the Skyward Sword game.
Yep.
I'm a little disappointed in that game. Not the way it looks, but they're not removing the motion controls for the console unless it's docked and unless it's handheld. And even then, it's finicky, so you have to use the motion controls with the controllers anyways. That's what I got from this presentation. That's what I got from this presentation. No, I'm not sure, but that's what I got from the presentation. And that makes me a little bit bummed because I was fighting those motion controls. I mean, granted, the Switch's version will probably be better, but I really just wanted to play the game like I just played, Breath of the Wild kind of style.
I'm pretty sure it's going to have standard button controls.
They said on the handheld mode, it's a easy button flick, controller and button flick, like easy mode kind of thing, which is weird to say. They worded it really weirdly. I don't know. I was really bummed when I heard motion controls.
That sounds so dumb that there's no way they would. There's no way that they would introduce a button only method and be like, only if you're playing handheld. Like, that would be the dumbest fucking decision ever, and I would call them out for it too. Like, that would be so completely fucking ass backwards.
Where is it here?
I'm not. I
gotta sell those pro controllers, man. Come on.
Yeah,
I know that, but they just say it can disable those in favor of button only controls.
How much you want to bet there's a pro controller with a skin on it?
It does say it though. People who soured on the original Skyward Sword motion controls and those who don't like them in general or can't use them because of disability can choose to disable them in favor of button-only controls. That's fine. I'm also concerned by the fact that they made it sound like it was a very like easy mode when you're not using the motion controls. So
Well, it is easier.
yeah, but I'm not saying like it sounds like it's like two button kind of thing. Like I'd still like to make like button holds and the I don't know timing with the sword swipes and stuff like that. Press a button and press it again kind of thing, or press and hold and I don't know. I'm just kind of like I don't know. They say they improved the
Have to wait and see.
performance of Switch control. It's the only flag that came up when I watched it when they said that. The
No,
way
no,
they
I
worded
know.
it
Yeah.
was for me. So, but the game looks great besides, and it's the like precursor to Breath of the Wild. Essentially, it's like the original game. It's pretty awesome to have that or the original Zelda story essentially. And then they finished with Breath of the Wild 2, which we got to see. They're taking it to the sky.
Yep.
So it's a vast world. You're still going to be in Hyrule on the ground, but you can also go to the sky. So it looks like it's going to be more vast. Nothing much about it besides that. Like I said, I would love to see.
Because like the first trailer was like it seemed like they're underground, like in a cave or something. Like now
No,
this
it's going
one's
to be
like
vast. I bet you this game is going to be huge. Like I know that. It's just a matter of like I have so many questions. Like, are we getting rid of weapon durability? Are we, is it going to be, what was the quality of life stuff? I don't know. That was the big thing for me is weapon durability. Is that going to be in the game or not in the game? Because I thought that was I know it's a part of this game, but I'm like, I could be fine without it personally. I thought it was, I'm personally more about the picking up a weapon and keeping it rather than throwing a stick and using that. I don't know. But not coming until 2022. It looks like they're aiming for 2022. That was a little disappointing. I was hoping that it was further along than it is because they said aiming for 2022. So I don't know. I don't know if it makes that, but I mean, again, nothing about the Switch Pro, and I feel like this is a game that's going to be made for that system if it exists. Like I feel like that's why they're making this. Yeah, it's going to be so huge the world that they're building. Especially because Corey, as you said, they showed underground and then they just showed us up in the sky. So it's going to be more vast than the other game, obviously. And that game was pretty damn big to be able to go wherever you wanted, literally. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, if you look at it, so like the video was only like 2, maybe 3 minutes long and stuff like that.
2.5 minutes, yeah.
But the interesting thing is like, if you want to do a breakdown of it, it looks like Link absorbed or had the Sheikah Slate fused onto his arm in the very beginning.
That. Wow,
yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, if you watch the trailer again, every time he uses a Sheikah Slate power now, which he has new ones, he like sticks out his hand like that. And if you look at his arm, it kind of looks like Edward from Full Metal, where it's kind of like, obviously some other, not organic. It's definitely not organic, stuff like that. And it looks like he has new options for Sheikah Slate abilities, and one of them that was interesting, where like he turns into liquid and goes through, like he goes through the ground and stuff like that, which will open up gameplay opportunities there, I'm sure, especially now that we're going through the sky apparently and stuff like that. So, I mean, looking forward to it. Obviously, I think it's good that we saw it for the first time in 2 years. And yeah, obviously disappointed that it's not going to be this year, but whatever. That's par for the course for Zelda games. It's like
yeah. And that's their show. That's it for E3. That's a wrap, really. I mean, we didn't really have anything else after Nintendo, right?
Well, there was something, but Bandai Namco, but they only showed one game, so not even worth talking about.
Yeah. So, guys,
this year's pretty light for non-Switch stuff. It's kind of
obviously this year it's going to be a weird year. I mean, Mike, what did you, Mike? I know you're not Nintendo like massive fanboy here, but what did you take away from this for other things? Like, what are you excited for here?
For the Nintendo specifically?
No, just in E3 general. What are you excited for?
In general, I was happy that immediately Yakuza 7, like a Dragon's Game Pass.
Yeah, you get to play the Game Pass. Yeah.
I took note of how Starfield is next gen exclusive. coming
Are you
out.
excited for that though?
I mean, I'm going to be. I'm not right now, but
by the time it comes out, you'll have next gen.
Yeah, well, probably, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know about next gen Xbox by then. We'll see. I'm not sure. That is but that's a factor. That's kind of what I thought here. So, because I wasn't going to go with an Xbox first for my next gen system. So this is a factor. It's the first exclusive next gen thing. I have to think about it now. And no, I think I'll probably play some Halo this fall, hopefully. And I might check out 2D Metroid too, but it's not my thing. Again, it's not my Metroid really. Overall, I wasn't really disappointed because I didn't expect much, and the fact that anything surprised me was something.
That's a good way to go into it because of this year. So yeah, probably good.
I am surprised about this Guardians game. I'm curious about it, although I'm not expecting a whole lot. But I do want to keep an eye out and see how that turns out. For me, the Guardians game is a big surprise. Just totally out of nowhere. Totally new game coming out this year. I mean, the same with Metroid as well, but that's I think Microsoft and Nintendo really.
That was the two.
Not surprisingly, I guess they really sort of held it down for everyone.
Well, the thing is like the other companies' presentations, in my opinion, and this is were just so
didn't
bad.
need to happen.
Those two were the only ones that carried it, and I griped at Xbox's presentation a lot because it was so much vagueness and CGI trailers that I just was like, this didn't need to happen either, in my opinion. But I still loved it. Don't get me wrong. I have an Xbox Series X. I'm happy to see stuff coming out for it, but I don't know. It's just like, did E3 need to happen this year? That's the question.
Yeah. It's not about if it should happen or not. I think it's just about like having a weekend that we can all just be excited for video games.
It's a time of year. It's a Christmas.
I mean, call it whatever you want. It doesn't have to be called E3, but it's nice that you have a weekend that's like, all right, there's something's gonna be announced. We can learn more about new stuff, and like you can be excited for that.
After this, I'm done with it. After this, I'm done. Like was like I've said that before. Like if it wasn't for Microsoft and Nintendo, like this would have been absolute like nobody would have cared. Like it'd been like shrug. Like I'm all for like again reiterating, double downing on what I said before years ago. Fuck E3. It doesn't need to exist. Just let these companies do the thing that they want to do when they want to do it. When they have something to show.
Yeah, but I like this time of year where it's
why?
No.
Why? Are you happy?
Were
you happy before today?
Well, wait, no, but normally it's fun to talk about the games and stuff like that. Yes, last year, sure, I loved it. Well, not last year, the year before that, sure. I enjoyed. The year before 2019, it's such an enjoyable time of year to have a conversation about games and everything getting announced. It's fun. Like it's a fun time of year. I don't care that it's E3. You don't need to have E3. I'm not defending E3. I'm just saying that you need to have this game fest.
I like the celebration of like gaming and the summer game stuff. Like I think it's just nice that it's kind of like a weekend you can look forward to if you're a gamer.
Would you rather have Christmas or just one present every month all year? Because to me, like that's what you're saying, Tony. You rather have
I'd rather have a present every month.
Oh, that's boring. That's stupid.
Why is that boring and stupid?
I mean, I don't think it's wrong. I just think it's nice that we have something.
If you put all your eggs in this one weekend basket, you're gonna get burned. Exactly.
But I'm not putting my eggs in. I'm just enjoy the season. It's like enjoy the.
Jim. All right, let's compare last year to this year. Right, last year, no E3, systems coming out that year: Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. Right?
Yeah.
Those companies did their own thing when they wanted to, right?
Sure.
Okay. Compared to this year, when we had E3, are you more disappointed or less disappointed than last year?
I mean, you're acting like it's one or the other, Tony. Like,
I'm not disappointed at all. I'm surprised.
Like, where's that girl?
That's fine.
I had low expectations.
We went into this thinking that nothing was coming out this year at all. Now there's a handful of things coming out this year that we know of.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but there's a handful of things.
Like I'm impressed that we have stuff coming out this year because we didn't know until this.
But what what? What?
Well, Metroid.
Yeah, but that's Nintendo. Like I said, Nintendo's the wild card here because they are secretive about this. They're the only company that operates differently.
Forza Horizon 5 is going to make it this
We
year.
got this.
Sure, but Microsoft does that every 2 years. We get a Forza
Yes,
game.
but you
every
didn't
2
know
years,
this
like
year
clockwork.
by itself. This year specifically is a weird year because we don't know what's coming out this year. You're right.
Game
like
a
clock.
Out this year.
Yeah, like a clock though. Microsoft releases Forza. I get it, but you didn't know that this year yet. So
I don't know. I think it's like I don't think it's one or the other type of thing though, Tony. I think it's you can be excited about an event that you have a whole bunch of people in the industry get together and show off some stuff, and then you can have little things here and there, like you have your Nintendo Directs and State of Plays and whatever. So like you don't have to stop doing things throughout the year. I just think it's nice that we can all come together and enjoy a weekend of announcements or interviews and like make it a thing. So
did you watch any interviews?
Yeah, of course.
I've watched I watch everything.
See,
I
I'm
watch
not really about
Gearbox stuff, obviously.
I'm okay with all of this being mostly just trailers and videos. Like I don't really need all this extraneous other stuff they do, but
I mean, if you want
what they did this year mostly compared to before.
I mean, this is like so much gaming news. There's so much gaming news dumped on us. We're having a podcast dedicated just for this.
Yeah, sure, but that's it. That's it. When's the next time we hear about Microsoft?
But that's the fun of it. Like you have these conversations with gamers.
Is it fun? Jim.
Yes, because you can have conversations.
Is it fun that Microsoft has jack shit until next year? Is it fun?
Yeah, I mean it's still fun to watch the presentation.
It's fun to know that your Xbox Series X isn't going to see any play other than Horizon until next year.
I kind of already knew that, but yeah.
Oh, you knew that? Okay. All right. I guess if that's fun for you, that's good.
We already assumed that, but I'm just telling you, like, it's the time of year. It's a fun time of year to have conversations about video games right now.
Sure.
And now we know
to talk about video games.
Hour and a half podcast directly related to E3. I mean, come on. I'm not saying E3 needs to happen. I'm just saying I love to have their own, like, from June 1st until June 20th, do like this mass announcement of stuff. How about that?
It's good. I mean, cause you do have the Game Awards, and so it's like every 6 months you get something. So it's like,
yeah,
it's fun.
You need something.
I like it.
Anyways,
I don't think
game of the show.
I don't think they should stop doing stuff throughout the year either. So as well.
Games of the show. Game of the show for you guys. Metroid for
Metroid Back for Blood.
Metroid for me. Corey, what would be your game of the show? Have you thought about it?
Like I gotta throw Tiny Tina's Wonderlands out there just because
it's your game of the show, though. Okay.
I mean, it's a Borderlands game. I gotta throw that out there. But I mean, Elden Ring looks amazing. I don't know if I'm gonna be playing that game anytime soon. Hopefully it'll be in January, but who knows? But as far as games that I know are coming this year, like Battlefield actually is really intriguing for me. I am very interested in playing that multiplayer.
So there you go. Tony, E3 got Corey interested in Battlefield.
This year?
Again, like clockwork, EA. It's be like, oh, if it wasn't for E3, I wouldn't know Call of Duty is coming out this year, guys. Like, all right.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Battlefield hasn't come out in a few years.
And plus, we haven't
Battlefield 1 2 years ago.
So it's been a couple of years.
2 years. I'm looking at it's clockwork. These companies operate on clockwork.
Executives need that money, as I know from this last book, from Schreier.
But every year, Call of Duty is getting released. Every fucking year. Like it's not a surprise.
There's always going to be a Call of Duty, sure. But let me see.
Mike,
feels like a while since a Battlefield game's come out.
It does feel like a while. It does. Mike, what was your game of the show?
I don't really know. There's nothing that I feel standing out to me as being like, ooh, great. Like
you're reinforcing Tony's statement. Pick one, please.
I know.
I don't know. Again, the biggest surprise than the most content was the Guardians of the Galaxy game. The thing is, though, I'm not sure it's going to be any good. But
yeah,
it's a big surprise.
You can still give a game of the show. You can still give a game of the show.
So. I mean, it's the one game that monopolized the most time of the show. So
sure,
should be game of the show.
Bad presentations don't make a great game, but.
I'm sorry, it wasn't Battlefield 1 that was released 2 years ago. It was Battlefield 5.
It was 3 years ago, by the way.
2018. I'm sorry. Well, you had a whole shit ton of DLC last year, so every 3 years, 2 to 3 years.
I mean, before they were every year. But...
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
I don't know, Corey. I just feel like this is another Call of Duty thing by you. Just like when you got your PlayStation 4, you're like, I got Call of Duty. What was it, Ghosts or whatever? You didn't even like Call of Duty. You got it. We're like, why would you get this?
Well, I got it for the split screen because nothing
I
else was.
I know.
But I'm saying, like, I love Battlefield 3. I mean, I put a ton of hours of that. So, and this one is making me feel way more like I didn't play the other Battlefields because they didn't entice me as much as this one has.
Yeah. I get it, Corey. I mean, this had a lot of hype behind it too. The way they presented the game too was very cinematic and fun. Looked good. So,
and if it's on that, what is it called? EA Access, whatever. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I think that wraps up our coverage of E3. Do we have anything more to cover? Did I miss anything? We're good. That's going to wrap it up, guys. Write us, allyoucangeek@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. We really love these subscribers, guys. Helps us out. Also, the like button. And leave a comment. Appreciate that, guys. We'll see you back to our regularly scheduled programs next week.
And is E3 worth it?
Oh, yeah. I'd love to hear that. So, yeah. We'll see you guys next week for our regular episodes stuff. So, there. We're out.